Well, hey there, it's Jen.
And Elke, welcome back to the Jen and Elke Show, where we love talking about print-on-demand marketing strategies that you can use not only on the Zazzle platform, which is one that we love, but also on Etsy and Amazon and Shopify. And today we are so excited to bring you this special presentation, which is the 6 niches that will explode in 2026. Now, we do have to have a caveat here. We teach mostly about evergreen products. And even though we do have our fingers in all of these different niches that are temporary, let's say, we love teaching you how to build a long-term sustainable passive income business. But we cannot avoid all of these great things happening in 2026 that are going to give you that extra bonus cash, which we see, especially on Zazzle, that there's very little competition right now. So we've got to tell you this. So stick around for the 6 niches, and there's a bonus one at the end. And I hope you really get a lot out of this video.
Okay, so let's dive right in to the first niche, and I'm just going to bring it up on my screen here. And it's the 250th anniversary of the United States. And this is an exciting one because it's a big monumental year, of course. And on the Zazzle platform, we've done these search results, and there's only actually 47 results so far. And most of them are actually the same designer. So there's a lot of really great room for you to capitalize in on this really cool niche that not everybody is going to hone in on. And a lot of things are going on, which we will talk about in the next couple of niches within the United States this year, big years and big dates and big events happening. So definitely, I would say get in on this, especially if this fits within your store and your brand, because it's something that is popular and it's going to be something that's celebrated a lot, I'm pretty sure. And we're going to be comparing between Zazzle and Etsy. And just to let you know, Elke and I have been on the Zazzle platform since 2008. And the reason why we prefer Zazzle over Etsy is because of the product choices that are available and also the customer and also designer service that Zazzle offers. You can list products for sale on Zazzle for free and open up an account for free, and everything is done for you from shipping to handling and customer service. So all you need to do is post your designs for sale and create your store with a proper foundation, of course. And that's why we're here as Zazzle experts telling you about all of these things. But today is a lot less about structure of your store, but getting in on those specific niches that are going to be popular throughout the year, this year in 2026. So you can see as I scroll down, there's some different opportunities that people have already started to post for sale, invitations for parties. Then there's keepsakes, t-shirts and keychains and buttons. And so you can have a lot of fun playing around with all of the different product types on Zazzle and have these be part of the 250th anniversary celebration for the United States. And just in comparison, going towards Etsy, because Etsy not only has private makers, but you can also post print-on-demand products through Shopify, so Printify and Printful. And there's a lot more designs here. And you can see here on the search results, there's over 1,000 items that are actually using ads. That's not even just the proper listings. So you can see that already there's a lot of competition on the Etsy platform. And so this is why we're speaking primarily about how the comparison works between Zazzle and Etsy, because there's actually not very much competition at this point in time on the Zazzle platform. And so just knowing that you're going to get into all of these kind of cool graphics on Zazzle, there's actually a lot less sort of creativity. So there's a lot of room for you to compete with the product listings that are already listed on the Zazzle platform.
Absolutely. And bring those designs that you created for your Etsy listings and add them to your products on Zazzle. We teach a lot of our clients who have Etsy stores how to leverage Zazzle as a secondary print-on-demand platform, and that they can manage both and then actually amplify their sales in the Zazzle platform because there's so many extra products that they can't get through Printful or Printify when they're partnering with those 2 companies as the print-on-demand source, so that they can sell them in their Etsy shop or their Shopify shop.
Okay, so niche number 2 is, we're going to go and switch the screen now here, is the solar eclipse for 2026. And this is happening in August. And on the Zazzle platform, once again, I'm just going to scroll up really quickly. There's only 221 results at this point in time. And you can actually see similarities in the designs, which means that there's one designer who has pretty much flooded the marketplace right now for this when I scroll down. But this is where you can be inventive, not only with the designs relating to the solar eclipse and what that might look like graphically, but also regions of places. Like, for example, we've got Iceland and we've got Spain. I can see where people are actually catering it and customizing it to the country of where people will be living, where they could potentially see the solar eclipse. I know last year it was a big thing. This is a one date type thing. And so this is a niche that I would say get in on at this moment and start designing right away, because it is just a very, very short period. With the other one that we showcased, the 250th anniversary of the United States, there's going to be a lot of hype around the United States this year, especially with the elections, which we'll talk about in a minute with the other niches. So there's a lot of stuff going on throughout the year for the US and North America, but the solar eclipse is this one really quick grab that you can capitalize on. And so I know that a lot of our clients last year who made products for the solar eclipse actually made quite a bit of money, because they made a lot of really cool keepsakes and like sort of memento products. Here we see stickers and t-shirts for the moment, but there's so many other product types that Zazzle offers that you can create these little cool keepsake things to commemorate and remember the solar eclipse of 2026.
Exactly. And then did you show yet what's on Etsy?
Not yet. Nope. We're going to go to Etsy right now here. So once again, there's a little bit less in terms of the competition on Etsy. When we go to showcase the items related to the solar eclipse, you can see what I mean by actually creating more of this really cool graphic related to the solar eclipse. We've got some really cool designs here, and also just pictures of the sun. There's over 1,000 items with ads on Etsy. So once again, there's a lot more competition. And so if you are on the Etsy marketplace or thinking about posting on Etsy, think about also transferring over to Zazzle and utilizing that marketplace as well, because it's really untapped at this point in time. But once again, it's focusing on the images and also the locations of where people will be able to see the solar eclipse in 2026.
Yeah, and we're not as able to. Is there an echo? We're not able to actually give you more details as to how many listings there are on Etsy, but the fact that it says over 1,000 items already have paid ads trying to get traffic to go to their listings is like for us a little bit of a warning sign that basically even now, when the eclipse hasn't even happened, it's in August, that basically people are going to be spending so much money to try and get those products to sell over the course of the next 8 months. Whereas in Zazzle, you don't pay for ads and you don't pay for having your listings seen on the Zazzle platform. You get your listings seen because you've tagged them right and you've listed them correctly with keywords, and you've got great designs that people start buying. And because of that, your listings go to the top. And I see some really great designs on Etsy. So move on over to the Zazzle platform.
All right, our third niche that will explode in 2026 is the presidential election for 2028. And yes, people are already starting to speak about this. There's a lot of stuff going on in the political world right now. And so people are starting to design items on both Etsy and also on Zazzle. Once again, we've put in a search result. So presidential election 2028, we have 3,400 results, almost 3,500 results on Zazzle. However, some of these results are a little bit skewed because there were results previous to other years in the past. And so not that you have to be worried about the fact that this is now a tapped in market versus the other ones that we showcased that were under 1,000 products for those search results. There is still room for growth in here, and you can definitely get in on this niche and trend. And what's really neat too is that Zazzle offers over 1,500 product types and styles, almost around 2,500 if you take into account all the different sizes of things and the different versions and variations. And some of the products that are not always seen on, let's say, the homepage or the main search results are quite cool, including these license plate frames, for example. There's buttons. There's a lot of things that can be used as campaign type products, car stickers, window stickers, banners, obviously t-shirts, and mugs, of course. But there's a lot of really neat, inventive products that you can utilize to create these campaign type things. Just be wary of using certain names. I know that, for example, we've got some here that says custom your name here 2024 or 2026. Clearly, people are using presidents' names like Obama and Trump. Right now, that seems to be okay because it's not, under copyright, and we've seen that in the past. But just be very wary about what you're saying on these actual political items as well. We've got lawn banners in terms of things that you can post like for sale that's outside of just campaign wear, that's apparel and accessories. So there's a lot of really fun things. Once again, we see some repetitive designs. So there's room for growth and room for competition. Some people just realize that there is a market for these things and just kind of flood the marketplace. So there's an opportunity for you to create some really cool, inventive and creative designs. And I'm just going to showcase the Etsy site here as well, because we've got sort of the similar look and feel. Here we have less than 1,000 results with ads, but that doesn't mean that there's less than 1,000 products posted, because I know there's probably a lot more. Unfortunately, like Elke mentioned, we can't see the number and the full results. But once again, there's room for competition and room for growth on the Zazzle marketplace and able to compete. And this is going to be a big one because people are talking a lot about politics in the world today. And this election is happening in 2028. But then the next one of the niches that we're going to be speaking about is actually the midterms. So there's a lot of stuff happening within political world that you can really capitalize on. And we have had experience and also results from previous years with not only ourselves on Zazzle, but with previous clients and current clients that have said that they sold quite a bit. And this also opens up the venue of selling in bulk to campaigns and also big groups of people as well, not just individual people who are buying one-off t-shirts. You could be selling multiples. And some of our clients have actually sold thousands of dollars worth of Zazzle products based on the fact that they've sold like in bulk to groups of people that are campaigning. It's actually quite a lucrative opportunity for sure.
Yeah, like some of the sales have been to literally Democratic or Republican conventions, and those things are not like, they're in the hundreds of thousands of people. So even a sticker at that point can become a very lucrative, profitable purchase and the payout for us as sellers.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the next niche that is going to explode in 2026 is the solar and moon exploration. And I'm on the Zazzle platform here. And we have just put in the word Artemis moon. You can do solar exploration or moon exploration. I would highly recommend, this is the point in time where we're going to get into the niches where we're talking about copyright and trademark. Artemis is the name of the rocket ship that is going to be launched into space to go for the exploration. So I would say, please don't use the word Artemis because it is trademarked, but that is something that is prominent in the online space if you're searching for moon and solar exploration for 2026. Here, I would suggest there are not as many results, 520, and plus of them are a little bit skewed on Zazzle because there's a lot more of mythology and sort of things going on here based on the word Artemis, but it would be more revolving around space and the moon. And you can not only just get into the exploration theme of things, but then think about how the culture of the space culture and moon culture and also alien culture can come into play. Because if people are really excited about the space exploration, how can you take that to be not only about the actual event, but the whole theme of people who might be just interested in the solar system and the space exploration in general. So there's a lot of room to be very creative using images of the moon, of the sun, of the stars, the galaxy, solar systems, constellations, and all of that jazz for just apparel and accessories going forward for this theme and niche of this a big event that's happening later on in this year. And we'll go over to Etsy really quickly just to showcase what we mean in terms of just sort of paraphernalia and memorabilia of certain space related items that people might just even buy just because, right? Graphic of the moon, poster of the moon, and then we've got the rover neon sign and things like that. Of course, here we see a lot of more maker things rather than print on demand stuff related to the moon exploration. But on Zazzle, there's so many products that you can utilize using graphics to bring that whole culture back to life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, the next niche that we have here is number 5, and this is the midterm election. And I was speaking about this previously about how there's a lot of events happening in the US this year related to politics, and the midterms are obviously very important because they help determine the election in the next couple of years. Once again, there are certain results, almost 1,600 results on Zazzle, but we can see that there's still room for growth because most of the products are so-so in terms of their designs. Obviously, someone has taken the opportunity to just blast the marketplace with this specific design. This is just the results that are popular right now. Obviously, there's more designs that people have put on Zazzle products, but there's so much more room for creativity here. And you can see the types of products that we've got. So we've got buttons, we've got t-shirts, we've got car stickers once again, and you can just be really inventive with the designs and the product types that you choose for the midterm election. And I'm just going to go over to Etsy here for the midterm election. And you can see that they've got a lot of these custom name designs, which is what you could see on Zazzle as well. And the interesting thing here is that Etsy is a little bit probably more difficult for people to customize things. And so on Zazzle, you have the opportunity to really come into that area of the customization as well for the midterm vote. And this is just a really great opportunity to capitalize once again on the political side of things. Not everything on Zazzle is, that a lot of things are evergreen and a lot of things are seasonal and event based on Zazzle, but politics is a big one under the radar. They don't really promote it as much on, like, let's say the homepage and the main landing pages, but it is a big market. And if you can get in there before, like months before, and start having your products being populated in the marketplace, let's go back to Zazzle, then you'll be able, like, for example, this person and these people, to actually capitalize on the main homepage and the main search result when you put in midterm election.
And I think that we just want to also bring up this other point that you saw on Etsy, custom name, and then it said 2024. Well, obviously that's outdated, and we're really wondering why that's still listed and people are still paying to list that on Etsy, even though the product is like out of date. And then they have another product that's the same, but it says 2026, so custom name. And on Zazzle, like we can see why that person did that, because on Zazzle, it's the same thing. Like if you post a product, then it gets a certain amount of traction. And if it's a good seller and it has a lot of views, then it's going to keep coming up in the top sort of the listings or for the search results. And irrespective of whether you've paid ads for it or not. And on Zazzle, there's an opportunity for you as a designer to take those products that have been good sellers for you over the course of the last couple of years and update the year and update, like mostly it's an update in the year. And all you have to do is ask for the permission, and then they just review it to make sure you're not just completely revamping the design, but updating the year. We have a lot of our clients, and also we do this as well, where if something's been, selling well at 2020, you can just update it to 2000 and whatever's next. And so these designs on the Etsy platform are not updatable per se. That listing stays the way it is. Whereas on Zazzle, that listing can change so that if it said 2024, now it can say 2026 and keep all of those stats and metrics that are associated with that listing to keep making it stay up at the top of the popular sort. So I love that about Zazzle, that it's that flexible and continues to honor those really well-selling products.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then the next niche that we have here, and this is one of my favorite ones out of this whole 6 niches that we are showcasing here. Give me 1 second while I share the tab, is the 90s themed gifts. I'm going to scroll up. Sorry, I'm making everyone dizzy here. But 90s popular gifts and themed related items. I'm born in the 1990s, so this makes me feel comfortable and has that nostalgic feel because I see these patterns and also some of these images, and I'm reminded of my childhood. And we go through these phases of bringing back things. Last year, it was the retro, the 1970s with the big sort of groovy, floral patterns and color schemes. And then now this is the 90s, where it's a little bit more tailored to obviously that sort of age of moving in kind of to technology, but still being in sort of retro era as well. And obviously, you can sort of see the color schemes and the patterns that are popular here. We did do the search results. There is 24,000 results, but that's just because it's a generic result on Zazzle, and it obviously is broken down to all of the different departments and categories. But you can really hone in on that nostalgic feel of that retro sort of, whatever, bringing it back, right? Before we had iPads and before we had AI technology and all of that stuff. This is a wide range of products, but just understanding the color schemes and the feel of the patterns, and also using the product types, right? So Zazzle also offers skateboards, which is a kind of a cool thing. And it's also something that was big in the 90s, is skateboarding culture. And you can really just go in and see the search results here. This is obviously just the popular search, but understanding, like, we can see so many different similarities, like I mentioned, between the color schemes and the product types and also the images. And it's just something where you can have a lot of fun playing around and bringing back that era to this platform and compete within that. Because like I said, last year, the 1970s groovy retro was very popular, and now people are bringing it back to the 90s. And we see this throughout the years and throughout the ages, where in each year in the future, we like to go back and remember certain times. And the 90s is becoming really popular now, especially even with the influx and the repopulation of the Pokemon culture, which is quite wild. Because I used to collect Pokemon cards when I was younger, and I have some of the original ones. And the fact that people are bringing them back and selling them for almost like $50,000 for one card, like, people are remembering that era. And so Zazzle offers a lot of product types. And speaking about Pokemon, just really quickly, obviously Pokemon is trademarked. You can't just slap a picture of a Pokemon here, but knowing the images and the things that went on in the 90s, especially this one here, is quite fun. It's this poof that looks like a Rubik's Cube, Zippo lighters with all those different patterns, this kind of like groovy sort of new age technology, but not new age technology, all of those different graphics. So there's a lot of things that you can have fun with and play around with, bringing back that 90s era on the Zazzle marketplace, using specific products that you might not think of that were even available. For example, the skateboards. Going over to Etsy, we'll just compare. And I wanted to quickly remind people of trademark once again. Obviously, Etsy is a little bit more liberal about what people are able to post, but everybody who is a designer has to do their own due diligence and look up trademarks. And obviously, if there's a character like Lizzie McGuire, you have to understand that that's not able and available to be posted for sale by you as a designer, because you don't own Lizzie McGuire, you don't own Friends, you don't own, there's other things here, there's like Tamagotchis and there's Beanie Babies and things like that. So just understanding that if you're looking up on Etsy for the search results and comparing, there's a lot of things that are a little bit on the borderline of if it's okay or not to post for sale. So especially even this MTV logo here, but understanding like the color schemes and the types of fonts and the graphics and like the shapes and all of those things that you can really play around with and create product designs for on the Zazzle marketplace. And definitely being able to compete a little bit more on Zazzle as well. Here on Etsy, there's over 1,000 items with ads. Zazzle obviously is a lot more lucrative in terms of the fact that you get to have more time and space to promote your products on the marketplace and have them in the search results. And also you don't have to pay for those ads, and also you don't have to pay for listings as well. Okay. All right. And then coming to our last one here, which is our bonus niche. And I'm just going to switch our banner here. It's the football baby shower theme. And this is something that people might not really think about in terms of baby shower theme, there's a lot of themes that go on, and we're on the Zazzle search results here, that baby shower themes are big, and each year they either change or some of them stay the same, especially during the season. Like, for example, in fall, there's a little pumpkin is on its way, but there's other themes that are like, let's call them evergreen within seasonal places, right? Because if you were to have a baby girl or a baby boy, some themes might be really associated with what's trending or popular with certain graphics throughout that year. But here we're giving you a little bonus of the niche because football, first of all, is a big thing each year based on the Super Bowl and the fact that in North America, especially in the United States, with college football and the NFL is huge. People go to tailgate parties and there's thousands and thousands of people in the stands when there's a football game. This is something that could become an evergreen baby shower theme for a boy or a girl as well, or gender neutral. And it's something that we haven't seen very much yet on the Zazzle marketplace. There are almost 2,600 results, but that doesn't mean that you can't tap into this market. And then in addition to, which is a little bit of a fun little Easter egg, is that Zazzle actually offers footballs to be customized and posted for sale on Zazzle. And so you can create footballs in addition to the stationery and decor items for this baby shower themed party. And it's just a fun theme. And especially during the football season, this would be definitely something that would be popular and people would be searching for.
Yeah, well, you've just done a great job. I haven't even said much in this one. So this is fantastic. And yes, we really want you to succeed on Zazzle in 2026 as an alternative to other print-on-demand platforms that you might be part of. And so I hope we've convinced you that it's time to go check out Zazzle. And if you need any help figuring out the ins and outs, we're here for you.
Mm-hmm. And just one last thing here is that we're going to give you an opportunity to download this really great diagnostic. And I'm just going to make sure that I have it up here on the banner. And this is a free download for you. And it's called the Ignite Your Print on Demand Success, the Ultimate Growth Diagnostic. The link is in the description below. And we created this diagnostic for anybody who needs help with their Zazzle store and understanding what might be going on. If you've been doing a lot of work in your Zazzle store, but you are not seeing results, then we want to make sure that you understand the questions that you should be asking yourself and reflection of your Zazzle store and seeing what might be going wrong and what might be not working for you. So this diagnostic will take you through certain steps to create and evaluate your store and understand if you need help going forward. So make sure that you click the link in the description below to do that diagnostic on your store, because we want to help you succeed. We want to help you see those results, because you might be working really hard and not seeing the momentum. And there's obviously something that needs to be changed. And that's why we've created this diagnostic for you. So click in the link in the description below to download that diagnostic, and we would love to help you go forward in your Zazzle business.
Yeah, and it's not actually just for Zazzle, it's for all print on demand, because ultimately running the business, whether it's print on demand on Etsy, print on demand on Shopify, or print on demand on Zazzle, it's all run by the same business principles that any corporation and any successful business runs on. And so therefore, if you're not running it as business and you're just running it as a hobby or a cash grab, then this diagnostic is going to help you understand where you're leaving off points that need to be addressed so that you can run this as a profitable passive income for years to come.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.